Hi, I'm Tosin. Today I will talk about Nike. Nike is a world leader in sportswear today. The company is instantly recognizable because of its iconic swoosh tick logo. In fact, the logo alone is worth $26 billion. The brand has a fascinating story. Its founders originally started out selling Japanese shoes. The company was co-founded by Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman in 1964. Philip Handsome Knight was born in 1938 in Portland, Oregon. His father was originally a lawyer. Then he changed his job. He became a local newspaper publisher later. At the time, there were still many people reading newspapers. The newspaper industry was booming. His mother was a homemaker. Knight had no interest in academics in his early life. When he was a kid, in the summer, he asked his father to give him a part-time job in his company. But his father refused. His father told him to find a job on his own. Don't rely on anyone. Finally, little Knight found a job in another newspaper company, but that company was his father's rival. There, he worked the morning shift, tabulating the sports scores. Every morning, he ran to the company from home on foot. The distance was 7 miles. By doing that job, Knight improved his running skills a lot, and he also began to enjoy doing sport. After graduating from high school, Knight continued his studies at the University of Oregon. In 1957, since he was good at running, he was selected to run for the school's track and field team. His coach was Bill Bowerman, a veteran of the U.S. Army. He earned many awards for his excellent performance in the competition. Knight himself was a smart student, and doing sports gave him enough energy to study hard. He earned a business degree in 1959 in just 3 years. Before graduation, he was admitted to Stanford University's graduate school. That same year, Knight also received his Army Reserve Commission. He spent a year in the U.S. Army before pursuing his further study. His performance in the Army was good too. Therefore, he received the reputation of the distinguished military graduate. After the Army, he entered Stanford to study. In Stanford, after doing enough analysis of the running shoe market, he wrote a paper. He pointed out that the production of the running shoes should move from its current center in Germany to Japan. The reason was simple, because labor in Japan was much cheaper. At the time, the price of running shoes was quite high. If the labor cost could be lower, then more people could afford high-quality running shoes. He told people that he found his real passion for entrepreneurship and business in Stanford. Knight graduated from Stanford with a master's degree in business administration in 1962. Later, he got the chance to put his theory to the test. He believed that Japan could also manufacture high-quality running shoes. Therefore, he went on a trip to Japan shortly after his graduation. In Japan, Knight discovered that the Tiger brand's running shoes were quite popular. Most of the Japanese families could afford it. Many students chose the Tiger's running shoes in the competition too. The Tiger brand later went on to become the famous Asics. Knight was extremely impressed with the high-quality low-cost running shoes. He bought some samples and sent them to Bowerman. He wanted to share with his ex-coach that his theory was correct. People should move the running shoes factory from Germany to Japan. Bowerman was surprised by the Knight's running shoes too. He loved them so much. He wanted his students to wear those running shoes. So he bought all the sample shoes from Knight. He also told Knight that he wanted to cooperate with him. He could do the running shoe designs. Bowerman long believed that German shoes, though the best on the market, they weren't anything too special to be replicated. Meanwhile, Bowerman learned some tips and tricks from a local cobbler about how to make good shoes. So he was confident that he could design high-quality running shoes too. Later, Knight made a deal with a group of Japanese businessmen. Knight wanted to export the country's popular Tiger shoes into the state. Bowerman supported Knight's idea. Knight and Bowerman sealed the deal with a handshake on January 25, 1964. They established the Blue Ribbon Sports Company. The company eventually became Nike in 1971. Blue Ribbon started out as a distributor for the Tiger brand. It was the official US distributor for the Japanese running shoes. That was a huge market. It would sell 1,300 pairs of shoes in its first year. After founding the company, Knight tested the water for his imported shoes. The beginnings of the company were humble. He initially showed them out of his car trunk. It quickly became clear that the demand existed for these cheaper but still high-quality alternatives. At the time, Adidas and Pumas dominated the American market. Though there was some early success with the company, it wasn't quite enough for Knight to quit his job for the first few years. During his career, Knight was tired of being an accountant. He wanted to do something further. He wanted to teach students. Therefore, he applied for a position at Portland State University. Finally, he became an accounting professor there. When he worked at the university, he met his future wife. They get married in 1968 and went on to welcome 2 children. Eventually, the business made sufficient profit. Therefore, Knight decided to quit his job as a professor. He later worked for Blue Ribbon full-time. Borman was a really good inventor and designer. He helped a lot in Blue Ribbon. One of Borman's amazing innovations was the waffle also. The inspiration came from the waffle. One day, Borman was having breakfast at home. He was thinking about how to give running shoes more traction. His wife saw him upset, so she said, "Why not have something sweet, honey?" His wife served him a waffle. He noticed the grooves in the waffle. Borman thought that the structure could gain more traction. So that morning, he quickly made an experiment. He poured rubber into a waffle iron. Borman got the amazing waffle also. He told this amazing news to Knight. They made a new running shoe with the waffle also. They asked some athletes to try the new shoes. Knight got positive feedback from them. The waffle trainer was born. Later, the shoe dropped in 1967. The waffle trainer later became the best-selling running shoe in the United States. This shoe was a major success for their company. It became an instant hit for its comfortable and stylish design. They earned a lot from the waffle trainer. Around the time of its success, their relations with the Tiger Company got worse and worse. Finally, after a lawsuit, the two companies formally split in 1971. At the time, Blue Ribbon had developed to 50 employees. It became a middle-sized company. Knight always wanted to produce high-quality running shoes. He chose a shoe factory in Mexico to manufacture his shoes. The factory had been endorsed by Adidas. After the split, Knight needed a new name for the new company. Because he just got an order from a big company, he wanted to give his shoes a new brand. He thought about the name for a long time. He also asked for advice from his colleagues, but he was unsatisfied with those names people gave him. At the last minute, he received one more suggestion from Jeff Johnson. He was the company's first employee. Jeff gave Knight the name Nike. That was the name of the Greek wind goddess of victory. Blue Ribbon Sports fully rebranded itself as Nike. The Nike company also needed a good logo. Knight asked a design student at the Portland State University to provide sketches of their company's logo. Finally, Knight picked the famous swoosh tick logo. Nike company was not only good at producing high-quality shoes, but also good at marketing too. In the 1972 Olympic Marathon, Nike declared that 4 of the top 7 finishers chose Nike sneakers. But the fact is that the gold, silver, and bronze finishers were all in Adidas. In the early 1980s, Knight's company was in a rut. Knight wanted the company to develop the basketball industry. At the time, Michael Jordan was just a rookie. In 1984, Jordan wanted to sign with Adidas, but Nike made him a better offer, namely $500,000 a year for 5 years. Michael Jordan signed with Nike. The next year, Nike launched the first pair of Air Jordans onto the market. The new shoe was instantly successful, while the company planned to make $3 million in the first 3 years. Air Jordans exceeded Nike's expectations. The company sold $126 million worth of Air Jordans in the first year. Jordan's collaboration with Nike helped the brand become the leading athletic shoe manufacturer in the world. Phil Knight has become among the top 30 wealthiest people in the world, with a net worth of over $45 billion as of 2023.